actively getting ready to leave my house, but I would just like to say, I just got done like filming that about 10 minutes ago, and I just like to quickly apologize. Little disclaimer, I do get a little bit incoherent at some points. I do not have time to go back and edit. I'm sorry. I have a 2-hour drive ahead of me, which is why it was so rushed. I don't think YouTube auto-generates captions. I think you have to add those. I don't know. But if they're available and you can't understand me, I recommend captions. And then, I don't know, you might have to slow me down at some points or just listen to it a couple times. Just please stick with me. And if you're watching this, I appreciate it. Anyways, I'll let past me get to it. Okay, I've tried to make this video like 3 times now. I just keep rambling on and on. Were we queerbaited? Let's talk about it. So this in part 1, 11s, if you're gonna hate, please just leave. Take your exit now, or just go. No, I don't want you guys to take a stand on this one, okay? Sit this one out. Horrible time for lip liner. Hold up, wait a minute. Okay, so I want to try and debunk right away the whole, oh, well, Byler isn't happening because of Will's coming out scene. And specifically Tammy Thompson, who's quite literally haunting the narrative at this point, in case nobody's picked up on that. So the way I would like to go about debunking this is, let's split it into groups, okay? We have Will Byers come out to the whole group, okay? Let's start there. A lot of people, a lot of fans are really mad that this was done in a group setting. And to that I say, did you watch the clip before? I know a lot of people are upset about it, and I understand why. Like, Collie doesn't freaking know him. Collie could probably care less. But the whole point, the whole reason he came out when he did, is because he knew that it could be used as leverage for like the group, Vecna, Will, and a way that he could basically be conspired against. So of course he knew, okay, well, even though this is probably irrelevant to some of them, I have to come out to all of them because life or death, like lives could be at stake, and Will could be like in the motion of saving someone, and Vecna were like, oh, by the way, did you know he's gay? And then like dynamic shift possibly. Like those are the things we're exposing ourselves to. Obviously we as the audience can kind of pick on the fact that the group is not homophobic. They could care less. But then we have that possibility of like, okay, well, if it was shared against Will, like if that secret was spilled at the hands of Vecna, we as an audience would hate it, and Will would probably never forgive himself and feel very scared. He wouldn't feel safe with the group. So I'm sorry if you think it was out of place that everyone was there. It was not. It was important. It was a key role, because yeah, at the end of the day, he can't have the group be pitted against him when it really, really counts. So of course, sexuality needed to be out in the open and told. Now, for my next point, can we talk about the fact of like, we were told Will had to come clean. He had to be honest. He wasn't telling the group everything, so he had to come clean. He has not come clean to Mike specifically. I think I'm getting ahead of myself here. Hold on, let me slow my roll just real quick. Okay, I'm done doing my makeup now so I can actually focus and lock in on what I was talking about. So as I was saying, Will, I think, is going to have to confess to Mike in order for the like series of events of like, oh, Vecna's going to spill all of your secrets, so before Vecna can do that, you have to spill them on your own. That was the whole point of his confession. I think that's why it was so rushed. But I also think the Duffers probably think they probably executed that better than they did. I saw an interview on Variety saying, like with the Duffers, saying that they thought about it and they had talked it through with Noah, and they were like really trying to wrap their heads around it and make it great. And being in the queer community myself, I just don't think it was executed properly because of the moment it was put into. Now, anyways, with that being said, I think Will is still going to have to confess to Mike, because even though he's like, oh, he's just my Tammy, I think he's only really reaching that conclusion because he is scared of what Vecna could do. we have seen this boy yearn. Last episode, we literally saw him still like caring about Mike. Or not last episode, last volume. We still saw him caring about Mike. And who was at the beginning of his film reel? Mike Wheeler. And no, I don't think that was because Mike, he was getting over Mike. I don't think that's why he was the first thing put in there. No, I don't think so. I'm sorry. And Mike was freaking oohing and awing at it, basically. So I think it's important that we get a confession in order to kind of settle everything before. Another possibility I think that could happen is, let me dive into a new topic, painting gate. Painting gate. What do we still have? Like, this is probably the only thing still stabilizing the Byler community, is we know that we were told by the cast themselves, or duffers, whoever it was, someone involved with the show, we were told by them that this painting scene in the fan was going to pay off the painting scene, or the band scene that took 12 hours to film. Okay, we were told it was going to pay off. So at the very least, I think we'll at least get a wholehearted confession towards Mike and Mike alone. Or maybe even from Mike. I don't really know what direction it's going to go in, but we still have the painting. Okay, we still got that. We have Noah Schnapp saying that most of his lines and moments were filmed with Finn. I'm sorry, did you see Finn and Noah Schnapp together in this second volume? No, they were together for like probably like 5 minutes. And that was at like the very start. Someone made a Byler Volume 2 video, and it was literally like 3 minutes long. Not great. So I think we all went into Volume 2 expecting like this huge Byler lore drop. No, of course not. Of course not, because it's just not that easy now, is it? We also have, I do have my phone, hence why this is being filmed on my iPad again. We have Stranger Riders, which is the Duffers. My favorite ship is Korosami. That's how I'm going to pronounce that. I know it's backwards, but here's the proof, just in case you needed it. So you might be wondering why this is relevant. So this ship is from Avatar: The Last Airbender. This was tweeted 5th of November 2019, maybe? I think that's what that date is. I don't know like how the Twitter order dates go. And it looks like it was from a different country, so I'm assuming it's date, month, year. So 5th of November 2019. Now, what season was 2019? I actually do have to Google. I don't know. I'm sorry. I think it was 3, right? Yes, season 3. Okay, thank you. Which is basically where we have 11 shatter into little pieces. Anyways, now Korosami. Korosami is from Avatar: The Last Airbender spin-off ship. It's between Korra and a girl named Asami Sato. Asami Sato? That's how I'm gonna pronounce it. Okay. I've Googled because I did not watch this spin-off. Development. Korra and Asami's relationship evolved from initial rivals due to a love triangle with Mako. It looks like Mako. To close friends and eventually a romantic couple. Their bond deepened significantly during Korra's 3-year recovery period, where Asami was the only person Korra wrote to, sharing her deepest insecurities. Who has Mike opened up to recently? Will Byers, not Elle. He's been lying to Elle, being actually an asshole to Elle. Anyways, my whole point in bringing this up, these two did not get together. A queer ship did not get together until the final episode of the show. Like, that was it. That was what they got. The final episode was the couple. It wasn't the first few episodes beforehand. It was the finale. So I'm sorry, but that tweet does prove some relevance in my personal opinion. And this is why I think Painting Gate could prove to be worthy to us Byler fans. Now, I have made points on TikTok. I've been rambling and spewing on my TikTok, and comments have reassured me even more. So I would like to go through some comments I've seen. Okay, I'm not sure who first conspired this comment, if it was originally from TikTok or what, but I think Lesbian Mind Flayer said it really well on her YouTube post, so all shout out and credits to her. Here are some points that she goes through of why she thinks Byler still could possibly happen and why she doesn't have doubt. Number one, the painting is still unresolved, which, mind you, we have been told will come back to basically credit us. Number two, Mike's story and why he's so closed off still unresolved. And again, mind you, if Mike is not experiencing internalized homophobia, he's essentially just a really bad friend, boyfriend, and an asshole. Okay? Okay. 3, Mike was listening to a band called the Butthole Servers, aka a crude term for homosexual. I did not know that. Girl stays educating me on, like, terms. 4, Will always assumes his love is unrequited, and he has been that way since the start. This ties into another point I'd like to quickly veer off and say. We are only seeing Mike's point of view, and I think a lot of people are expecting, or Will's point of view, and I think a lot of people were expecting to get Mike's. I think it still could happen in the final episode. I really do hope we get a shift away from that, because we now know, like, confirmed that he is a spy for Vecna, so therefore his thoughts are kind of, or like his perception of things is altered and biased in an opposite direction. Also, of course, like absolutely of course, he's not going to see Mike's signs, but we can, because we are the audience seeing it from Mike's or Will's. I'm messing up their names so badly, it's not even funny. You're only seeing Will's point of view, and we can still see Mike physically reacting. Mike is just like not confessing. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm being really confusing. Number 5, all Mike and Elle's interactions can still be interpreted as platonic. I see them only as platonic. I'm sorry, but if Byler's ship is sinking, so is Malevin's. Okay. They basically cut off every ship at this point. Number 6, Mike and Elle. Okay, I'm done. Get out. Thank you. Number 6, Mike and Will have done every single signal listed in ways to tell if your crush wants a date. The shared looks, brush of the knee, bump the elbow. I think those were the 3. We see thousands and thousands of shared looks. Same with like the bump the elbow. I feel like we get that one a lot. And then the brush of the knee, the one significant thing that's in my mind, episode 4, we literally see it played out that same freaking episode where they're also flirting with each other actively, is they're walking down the hill. We've got a signal tower above Mike's head when they stop, by the way. Anyways, they're walking down the hill. Will, Mike, bro, you did not need, it's like he, like the shoulder check, but he freaking knee checked him instead. Anyways, 7, writers have said their favorite ship is Korosami. I already spoke about Korosami, so I'm not going to delve into that anymore. And then also in Dawson's Creek, the main will they won't they ship, they also do not get together until the finale, which, in case you haven't noticed, they are very will they won't they. Same with Elle and Mike. Okay. We then have quotes. Maybe I am a mess. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I'm out of my mind. I don't believe in coincidences, which is from Lucas. We have the I don't believe in coincidences anymore. Jesus. Coincidences. That's a hard word. Okay, with that being said, I did go a little feral on my TikTok, so if you want to see that, the user is iris_anything, which is my name, by the way. Hi, I'm Iris. I don't think you guys actually know that. Anyways, so here's a post I made. I said Byler could still be alive. Korosami, a queer ship that wasn't confirmed until the finale. I provided the screenshot if you want to see it there. This I kidnapped from a TikTok comment section. All credit to them. I'm not pronouncing their username. Anyways, wait. He just said he wanted to be normal. He wanted to be like everyone else. This is a direct correlation to Mike wanting to be perceived as normal. To everyone else, he doesn't want to admit his feelings for Will, for fear of being looked at as weird. Okay, that's all just spiraling. I just cracked the setup for the next episode. Since Mike saw everyone accepting Will for his queerness, Mike will have the confidence to come out. Let's not forget Finn saying that for his character, Mike, he describes him as a character trying to fit in. Okay. I said down below, Noah talking about the time he spent with Finn filming. Finn saying the painting would pay off, and then the Duffer Brothers pointing out that Finn had to bring out emotions for season 5. This is no disrespect to Finn Wolfhard. I know bro can act, okay? I hate the people who are like, oh wow, Finn Wolfhard just really didn't listen then. We have not yet seen said emotions, I'm sorry. We've still got another episode. Okay, and then the last slide. We also have the painting gate, and just think, Will only came out because he thought it would solve the outcome for what Vecna may show him, as I clocked earlier. Therefore, he knew to quickly scramble as they were running out of time, which is why I think Will is also shoving down his feelings for Mike. He's not over Mike, he's scared of what could happen if he doesn't get over it. See, I can speak when my brain is like wired correctly and I'm not rambling. I would like to go into more comments that I've liked. Okay. This person says, 1. Will has never been a reliable narrator. Vecna was just in his mind and had done what he did as a way to scare Will, which promptly gave him reason to come out to everyone. Will saying Mike is his Tammy would negate everything we know about Will, because Will has been in love with Mike for seasons. He's not just gonna get over it. Anyways, he very well could have said that because he doesn't have hope. He doesn't have hope. Clearly, he doesn't have... Let me rephrase. I'm so sorry. I'm such a bad reader, like out loud. He said he doesn't have hope. Clearly, he doesn't have hope because he said, I had a crush on someone. I know they're not like me. Gay, in parentheses. There's 2 things wrong with that sentence. Will has been in love with Mike. It's not just a little crush. And secondly, Will doesn't know Mike is or isn't like him. Why would Mike in the 80s come out to someone he has a crush on, Will, if Mike doesn't know that Will is gay? Number 2, which brings me to point this out. Mike didn't know Will was gay, and now he does. Will coming out to Mike could give him insight into his own self and the courage to approach Will romantically. Number 3, painting gate hasn't happened yet. It has been confirmed that the painting will get addressed, and it hasn't been. Not yet. We know it's coming. See, I like this person, guys. Number 4, Mike and Elle have not kissed. They haven't even talked about the relationship outside of them, the party. Leaving Hawkins for good. Mike literally said to her, friends don't lie. Neither one of them said girlfriend or boyfriend, which I saw that and I was like, well, in season 3, Elle goes, or Max goes, yeah, but boyfriends lie all the time. So, like, why aren't they calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend? Anyways, number 5, which brings me to this point. The rest of the characters haven't been confirmed. Haven't confirmed Mike and Elle's relationship either. When Collie met Mike, she only said, so this is the famous Mike. I thought that too, therefore insinuating that it was, she was like, oh, so you're Elle's boyfriend, or oh, you're the boy that Elle keeps talking about. This is the famous Mike, meaning that she once had context years and years ago. She never said, oh, so you're her boyfriend or anything like that. Number 6, we have 1 whole episode left worth of 2 hours of runtime. The Duffer Brothers already spoke about a plot twist. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't seen any twists yet. I'm sorry. Just to crush that little theory. Love it though. It makes sense. I don't think Collie is great. Anyways, the information we got this volume is stuff that we would have never known about. The Duffer Brothers love Korosami, which happened at the very end. Everyone's clocking the Korosami comment. That the Duffer Brothers have said time and time again to pay attention to the small details, and we have. They show us that it pays off when we do. Why all these parallels and subliminal messages if no Byler? The frickin' parallels, man. I need to calm down. I also need to address some points because I don't think this video has been clear whatsoever, and it's remaining unedited because it is 10 or 9:30 and I really have to get going because I am busy. Okay. I screenshotted this from an interview on Variety. This is coming directly from Ross Duffer. Ross Duffer, Will's coming out as something we've been talking about and wanting to do for a very long time. Originally, it was going to be in season 4, and we realized we just didn't have the space to do it properly. And I'm glad we didn't, because it really gave us the time to arc an entire season towards this one moment. And yes, he's starting to embrace himself, which we see in volume 1. So they said that, and obviously you might be thinking that gives us absolutely nothing. To me, that gives we've been wanting him to embrace himself. He can't embrace himself by basically shutting down his feelings for a character. I think there will be a discussion, if not a confession, between Mike and Will. I think there has to be, because then they have let loose the comment of, I have to get all my secrets out. Will Byers is not going to take a romantic thing that has been built up from season beyond season and quickly uproot it. I think he's only uprooting it because he's scared, and he thinks, okay, if I just say I'm over him and he's my Tammy, then it'll all be okay. Like, I can give myself the strength. I don't have to let Vecna's words get to me of like, it's never happened. You're basically dirty for being gay. No. I think he was quite literally trying to not really closet himself, but closet his feelings for Mike. Mind you, all the innuendos we've gotten, the mentions of Dick, which I'd like to point out, I don't know if this was just me. I think it was Steve, when he was putting a slinky on like a bolt, it looked like he was putting on a condom. Just saying. Don't know if it was just me who clocked it. Maybe I'm too dirty. I don't know. But the innuendos and the parallels between Jancy and Byler, give me one of them. We already know that Jancy's not happening now. Okay? Okay? And Stancy better not happen either. But Byler, give it to me. Anyways, I'm so sorry that this is so scrambled. I wanted to like make a part 2 to kind of clarify everything. But I feel like this was probably just more scatterbrained, if anything. Anyways, I apologize. This is going out completely unedited once again. If you made it to this point, thank you, and have a lovely day. I hope you're having a good holiday season, and goodbye.